Hey, welcome to Star Wars Force Time. Please like and subscribe my new channel. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get started. We're going to do a character breakdown of Echo from the Clone Wars today. Just so you know, I'm going to discuss Echo from the beginning, Season 1 through Season 7, Episode 1. So Episode 1 has already aired on Disney Plus last Friday. It was released. I'm not going to go into Episode 2 of Season 7 forward, whatever's been released online in terms of leaks or actual clips that were shown and discussed at Celebration. I'm not going to discuss here. Let's leave it for a surprise for us all. For those of us who haven't been already spoiled, we're not going to do that today. So, let's get into it. Echo is the name of a clone trooper. He got that nickname, as they all have nicknames for each other. He got that nickname because he would always repeat the orders that were given. So it was like they had an echo in the room. So that's his nickname. That's how he got it. And Echo, how can you spot him in a lineup? If you were to see a bunch of clone troopers together, you could spot him because he had a mark on his armor, right in the middle of his chest. It was a mark of a handprint, 4 fingers of a handprint. And that was given to him by Rex when Rex first met him upon being rescued out of a rescue mission on the Rishi Moon. Rex noted that he was, him and Fives, they were shinies, and shinies being because they were shiny and new troopers, and their armor was spotless, very shiny. So Rex kind of gave him a little bit of a marking, if you will, and Echo kept that mark as his signature mark throughout his career. And even when he was promoted and the armor got a tinge of blue, going to be when he became an ARC Trooper, ARC ARC, standing for Advanced Recon Commando, and ultimately a part of the 501st, Anakin's 501st Legion, he always kept that marking on his chest as his signature. As a cadet, he was a part of a group that ultimately we came to know as the Domino Squad. And the Domino Squad, they didn't really work very well together at first. Was seeking a transfer because they were at odds with each other and couldn't graduate from the ranks of cadet. Ultimately, they got their act together and they persevered, and they did graduate. His first mission was with Fives, so a part of the Domino Squad, we've got Cut Up, Droid Bait, Heavy, Fives, and Echo. So Fives and Echo were on the Rishi Moon as a part of their early missions. Seemed to be boring at first, however, they were crucial in giving a heads up to the Galactic Republic about an upcoming separatist attack, and for their excellence and their bravery in battle, they were ultimately promoted and got the attention of Anakin, and ultimately a part of the 501st Legion. And that's where, during that rescue, is where he came across Rex, and Rex gave him the signature handprint on his chest plate of his armor. So basically, Season 3 takes us to a mission in which he is called in to help rescue Jedi Master Evan Peel, as well as Commander at the time, a young General Tarkin. Yes, this is Grand Moff Tarkin that we know from the original trilogy, from A New Hope. So it's kind of cool to see early stages of him. Also, we get to see him and Anakin interact for the first time, which is ultimately really interesting, knowing how those two turn out to be hand in hand in A New Hope. First, their relationship, as a side note from Echo, Anakin and Tarkin, kind of cool. Their relationship at first is kind of a little bit strained. Tarkin is kind of not a fan of the Jedis in terms of being able to carry out war duties to take that next step to be victorious, because technically they're supposed to be peacekeepers. And Anakin sees his point and ultimately kind of agrees with him, so they kind of sort of start out a little bit at odds, but they figure out they kind of have philosophies that meet and have a common ground. Also, they kind of each are a little bit territorial over their kinsmanship, if you will, with Chancellor Palpatine. Tarkin brings up how close he is to him, and Anakin does too, and they're kind of just like trying to one-up each other on who knows who's closer to Chancellor Palpatine, which is very interesting. Ultimately, it ends with Tarkin complimenting Anakin and saying that he's basically gonna, sing Anakin's praises to the Chancellor. Interesting little exchange between those two. Kind of neat to see some early stages of Tarkin and Anakin, the little repartee that they have. Okay, back to Echo. So he's on a mission. They have to go to rescue Jedi Master Evan Peel and Tarkin. Okay, so we know who Tarkin is. Evan Peel, just as a side note. So you might recognize him from The Phantom Menace. He was on the panel, the Jedi Council, when Qui-Gon Jinn was asking for permission to train Anakin Skywalker. And so he was a part of that council that said no. You might recognize him. He was the one that kind of looks like a large, version of Yoda. He's got the Yoda ears, but his skin is not green, and they don't have the similar facial features, and he's a little bit bigger, but nevertheless, the ears are kind of like the standout, and he also has one eye because the other eye is lost due to injury. He was also briefly seen at the end of The Phantom Menace after the battle at Naboo and at the celebration. So that's the Jedi Master that we're talking about. And so on the rescue mission, back to Echo. Echo is part of that group. Fives is there as well. The reason why they're there is because they need to, they're trying to rescue Tarkin and the Jedi Master because they hold codes to trade hyperspace routes that are vital to the survival and success of the Republic, but also can be used against the Republic by the Separatists. So Tarkin and Jedi Master Peel, they were taken to the Citadel. The Citadel is a prison, and it is a prison that's used for fallen Jedi. That's kind of their specialty. The warden there, his name is General Sobek, and he's under direct command of Count Dooku. And Count Dooku knows that most likely what's going to happen is if you hold a Jedi, the Jedi are going to come and rescue him, and that's exactly what did happen. So it was kind of a race to keep their prisoner and keep the prisoners from being rescued by the Galactic Republic and the Jedis in particular, because of the codes and the information that they were trying to extract from them for the hyperspace lanes, for the trade routes and whatnot. Okay, so in that battle to try and rescue them, we've got Ahsoka, we've got Obi-Wan, as well as Anakin, and they're under heavy attack from the droid army that's protecting the Citadel. Ultimately, when there's some heavy cannon fire, there's a lot of explosions. Fives sees Echo going after one of these cannons to try and take it out because it was really wreaking havoc for them. Fives calls out to Echo, says, don't do it, it's too dangerous. Echo goes anyway because he's brave like that and he thought he could help. And ultimately an explosion happens, and you see where Echo was, and you see his charred helmet in the aftermath and the shrapnel of all that explosion. And ultimately have to leave because of the oncoming continuing fire from the battle droids. And so Fives turns around, looking at his comrade fallen, the charred helmet sitting there, and we presume Echo is dead. So that brings us to Season 7, Episode 1. We're during the Battle of Anaxis, and during that battle, there's a discussion with Anakin, Mace Windu, Cody, and Rex, and they're trying to figure out how it is that General Trench's droid army always seems to be able to almost predict what the battle plan for the Galactic Republic is. And they're confounded by this because really the only people who know their playbook is Rex and Echo, and we know Echo to be deceased. So they're just very confused as to how this could be. So the Jedi Master Mace Windu, as well as General Anakin, agree to send a team to the Cyber Center to check their files, their security files, and see if they can't figure out, how they're figuring out their battle plans. So they go to the Cyber Center and they are looking for security files, and they discover a file, but in this file, it's not a data file. It's actually a link to a live signal. And when they call out to this live signal, they get a response back from a actual voice that answers to the identification number of CT-1409, which is the identification number that Echo, as a clone trooper, was given. CT-1409. Fives hears this, he knows it immediately that this is Echo. And that's basically and how the episode ends is the signal that they traced links them to Skako Minor. So Skako Minor is probably we're going to pick up in the next episode to see about this live signal that answers to Echo's identification number of CT-1409. So that's what you need to know going into the next episode about Echo, in case you don't have 65 hours to watch all of the Clone Wars all over again. I'll try and break down as many characters as I can along the way so that you get a little bit of the Cliff Notes backstory, and you can pick up right where you need to in order to really, really enjoy this final season of Clone Wars. All right, so that's it for now. May the Force be with you always.